A successful rap career is extremely hard to obtain, yet very easy to destroy. One mistake, one bad album, one tweet could start a ripple effect that leads a rapper to fade into irrelevance. Today we are going to look at the stories of rappers whose careers dwindled for reasons they likely could have prevented, starting with Superstar Pride, a rapper who had the fastest—
Bro, this motherfucker blew up and left like in the blink of an eye, bro. This man was, and mama, don't worry, you raised a gangster, I'm a survivor. Like, how the fuck you blow up and then you get arrested instantaneously because of some crazy ass shit? Who is he? I just sang the song that he made.
And most ironic rise and fall of all time. Many of you heard Superstar Pride briefly in 2023 when his song Painting Pictures went viral.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't necessarily viral for the song, but rather his obscure mullet-style haircut. The crazy part about this track—
my man looked like a JoJo character. That's how JoJo shit looked. My man got a hat on and then in the back of it, it's just like fluff.
is that it was originally uploaded in 2020 and went unnoticed.
And mama, don't worry, you raised the—
Then 2 years later, when he uploaded the live mic performance video to Painting Pictures, it also fell on deaf ears. It wasn't until 5 months after the music video dropped, February of 2023, that Pride casually created a TikTok, posted the music video snippet, and it blew up. The first clip he posted got 10 million views. The second one did over 40 million views. Bro got the Sonic haircut. Bro looked like he got screamed at. Bro's haircut was 50% off. Nobody was talking about the song, just his hair. Then a viral trend emerged of
He
people
said he looked like he
imitating
got
his video with
screamed at.
something ridiculous taped to the back of their head, which could not be outdone
That's
when
a
someone
crazy
managed to get an entire airplane strapped to their head. The opening line, "Mama Don't Worry," was also getting stuck in people's heads,
Yup, mama,
which led to
don't
the song
worry.
amassing 160 million streams on Spotify and over 30 million on YouTube. Painting Pictures shot up to number 25 on the Billboard Hot
I ain't gonna lie, man. When that song came out and I heard it on Spotify for the first time, I had that shit on repeat. That song was so catchy.
100, and every major label got into a bidding war trying to sign him, but he sided with Steve Stout and his independent structured music label, United Masters.
And he wanted like $5 million from a label. And when they didn't give him $5 million, they were offering him $3 million. He's like, if it ain't 5, I'm not signing it. I'm like, what?
Pride let his ego get the best of him, refusing $3 million for wanting $5 million. 3 weeks after refusing the record deal, he was arrested for murder.
a Mississippi rap.
Yo, I bet you the motherfuckers at the record labels was like, whew, we are lucky that we did not invest in him. Bro, imagine, bro, just being like, I want 5 mil. And then a week later, they're like, oh, arrested on murder charges. Ooh, them record labels, they dodged a bullet.
Rapper is charged with murder in Panola County. 20-year-old Kadarius Pride, known as Superstar Pride.
The victim, Marcus Wheatley, was Pride's barber, likely responsible for his signature hairstyle. Wheatley's grandmother said Pride stormed into their house and gunned him down in the backyard. Currently, Pride is being held without bond and doesn't have a trial set.
Damn, he gave you the iconic cut? And then you kill the guy that gave you the iconic cut?
Nobody knows what happened or why it happened, but a rapper going viral for his ridiculous haircut in February, then allegedly murdering his barber a few months later after denying $3 million is the most insane self-sabotage I have ever seen. And if you thought Pride's story was a poetically ironic form of self-sabotage, meet Chance the Rapper, who once famously said, "I met Kanye West, I am never going to fail," but still managed to fail. Chance the Rapper's 2013 mixtape Acid Rap was universally praised by—
Bro, I never listened to any of Chance the Rapper's shit, ever. But then every time I see that one album cover with the CD, everybody's like, bro, that shit was universally hated. I don't even know anything about his
by
music.
hip-hop fans. His raspy voice and sprinkle of soul combined with his youthful, positive energy made this project a masterpiece. Tracks like Cocoa Butter Kisses and Favorite Song have aged like fine wine. But Chance was in no rush to capitalize on his buzz. He worked on his next mixtape for 3 years. He had the whole city of Chicago rooting for him and garnered support.
What if that album that everybody says is dog shit, like 10 years down the line, everybody ends up loving this shit? Then he gonna be old as hell being like, man, I remember everybody was fucking shitting on me because of this album and now everybody loves it.
support from the biggest artists in the world, including Kanye West, who featured Chance on his 2016 album, The Life of Pablo. Chance's part on Ultra
My favorite
Light Beam
Kanye
is
album.
one of the biggest highlights of the project. Coloring Book was his 2016 mixtape that served as the perfect follow-up to Acid Rap. Chance's cadence, soulful lyrics, and euphoric beat selection was unlike anyone else in hip-hop at the time, especially on tracks No Problem and All We Got. He earned a Grammy for Best New Artist, and some people even believed he could give Drake a run for his money.
You say he not Cardi? Cardi gotta release some new music. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Cardi is taking such a long time to make another album because I think he's nervous. Because I think like Whole Lotta Red, when it first came out, he got hate for it, but then everybody ended up loving it. And I feel like he don't think the next album is gonna follow up well with Whole Lotta Red. I feel like still, like it's been such a long time. Cardi has to drop. You say he's dropping an album soon? I mean, he dropped a single. What single did he drop? What single he dropped? Let me see. What single he dropped? So them shits is shadow drops then. Them shits weren't like, I don't know, cause that's weird as hell that they're not on Spotify. That's weird as hell it's not on Spotify, but let's just continue.
But then he blew it. And I'm gonna blow you away when you hear about today's sponsor. Lately, I've been obsessed with Underdog. On Twitter, his responses would put groceries, a corny TikTok song that was heavily marketed on Triller to capitalize on the Whoa dance craze. The song went viral, but when fans criticized it on Twitter, his responses would put a nasty stain on his reputation. People have different tastes and that's fine, but the way you're talking to fans who have been with you since 10 days is disappointing, and that ego reflects in the quality of your newest music. Eat it. You are a spoiled child who thinks artists are making music for you. I never intended for you to find or like anything I made. If I knew you existed, I would have tried my hardest to keep you from being able to enjoy it. Now go eat a dick again. Then Chance over and over again told the fan to eat a dick. This interaction was a far cry from the positive and wholesome Chance the Rapper fans loved. Then he dropped his debut album, The Big Day, on July 26, 2019. The Big Day was a reference to his wedding day, which he was planning during the creation of this album. Chance mentions his wife and family over 20 times on the record, which became a huge meme. And while his intentions were pure, the album simply was not good.
I am genuinely feeling like a strong 0 on this record.
Fans hated the project.
Bro, was this album that bad? I feel like listening to this shit live. Like, bro, all I hear is just terrible shit about this album.
As well, and were quick to let him know. On Twitter, Chance would block anyone who poked fun at him or said anything negative about the album. With the influx of hate, he responded with extreme measures. I'm getting this crazy feeling that people want me to end it. These desperate tweets combined with his lazy album would lead to him canceling his 32-city arena tour, saying that he was instead going to focus on spending time with his family, which again sounds understandable, but it was a lie. The tour was actually canceled due to, quote, historically low ticket sales. According to his now ex-manager Pat Corcoran, Chance fired his manager, then blamed him for fan disappointment in The Big Day and underwhelming fan support for its associated tour. Corcoran would go on to file a lawsuit in November of 2020 against Chance the Rapper for breach of contract, stating that he is owed over $2.5 million in reimbursed expenses for supporting and promoting.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I'm actually curious, bro. Like, I gotta listen to like a song on that shit. I'm actually curious now. I'm actually curious. Like that shit can't be that bad. It cannot be that bad. His album cannot be that bad. So, this song could have been better. I love the beat in this song. But, fucking A, bro. Shit, let me not listen to the whole album. I might listen to it later, but let's continue watching the video.
Chance's career, an additional $3 million for unpaid commissions, and 15% of Chance's net profit across all business earnings. The lawsuit also revealed that Chance started working on his album in February of 2019, which was only 5 months before it was released. His manager—
Damn, he had 5 months to make this album? Oh, shit. So this man literally went into the studio, did a one take, and he was like, that's it. He probably one take half that album then.
knew there was not enough time for the creative process that was involved in releasing an album. Chance's recording efforts were compromised by unproductive and undisciplined studio sessions, procrastination, and lackadaisical effort, which explains why there are terrible lyrics throughout this record. If you blink it, you might miss it. You gotta click it or tick it.
Yes! I didn't even listen to this song, but the song that I was just talking about, that's what I was saying. He was just rhyming random shit together that didn't make any sense. But then in the second part of the song, then he actually started rhyming, but then actually started saying shit. But you see, yes, I agree. If you blink it, you might miss it. You gotta click it or tick it. Life is short as a midget, but mine is a little LeBron.
Life is short as a midget, but mine's a little LeBron. And how could we forget?
Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly with a peanut butter jelly. Y'all ain't
I didn't hear this song. Oh no.
And how could we forget?
peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly with a peanut butter jelly. Y'all ain't ready for the jelly, it'll break y'all back.
Chance let his own ego squander his career. He couldn't just admit that he made his fans wait 3 years for a bad album that was rushed out in 5 months, and the way he responded to them on Twitter was just childish. From here, all his hype died. On the other hand, if he stepped out of the limelight to genuinely focus on his family, that's respectable. Maybe that's something we should celebrate rather than see as a downfall. But Chance wasn't the only rapper whose Twitter fingers started their downfall. In the case of OG Maco, he pretty much forced everyone to hate him because of his tweets. In 2014, OG
Who's that?
Maco had a ton
I never
of
heard of
momentum after his
OG.
song You Guessed It went viral on Vine. This track was unlike anything we had ever heard at the time.
Oh, now when this song came out, I know what song is this.
Find that peanut butter song really quick. Let's listen to some of it.
You know what? What's that song called? The peanut butter song. I actually want to listen to it. Now that you mention it, where's it at? What was it called? Is it actually called Peanut Butter? Ain't no way it's called Peanut Butter. Well, what's the song called? That song, Bitch, You Guessed It. Yo, when that song came out the first time on Vine, that shit blew up. Nobody know what that song is called, Peanut Butter Jelly? Hey, GG's. We don't know the song.
Before
Thank you,
mumble rap took over, we had
thank
OG
you, Noah.
Maco screaming insane ad-libs over the most
Not this
simplistic
song, the other
R&B
song.
trap beat. He had a darker, more rock-like aesthetic and even called himself not a rapper, but a rock star. The song reached number 90 on the Billboard Hot 100, and he could even be credited with inspiring many rappers after him. It definitely inspired Keith Ape, who just released a track called Itchy Ma that sounded suspicious.
Yo, shout out to Keith 8, bro. Shout out to Keith 8, bro.
Similar. Just listen to them at the same time. OG Maco tweeted,
Underwater
"I'm aware
squat!
of the Koreans that mocked me and took my sauce. I'm not impressed. I'm not inspired. I think it's kinda lame. To each his own." Maco even accused Beyonce of stealing from him in her 7-Eleven music video. If you look at them side by side, he made
You said it's called Ballin', Flossin', what, that other song with the peanut butter shit? That's a good beat though.
Tonight is your birthday. Let's blow out all the candles. Yeah, we could get romantic. As long as I'm with you, babe. Let's throw a party. Just us in my apartment. Yeah, back to where it started. As long as I'm with you, babe. As long as I'm with you. As long as I'm with you, baby. As long as I'm with you.
Niggas is dogs who walk some. Talk shit, cheap who bought some, yeah. Look at you ballin' flossing, yeah. Look at you ballin' flossing, yeah. Look at you bad baby, yeah. Look at you ballin' flossing, yeah. Look at you ballin' flossing, yeah. Look at you ballin' flossing.
Yeah, me fitted by Winston. She's young, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm gonna keep it 150,000 grand with y'all right now. And that bitch feeling my shit. Show me all the money that you make off that.
that you make off that. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly with a peanut butter jelly. Y'all ain't ready for the jelly, it'll break y'all back. It'll break y'all back. Really got a body, can you shake all that? Can you shake all that? Can you shake all that? Got big dreams, super big eyes. Retro ride, Marty McFly. Big day, super big vibes. Let's get right, loosen this tie. Move inside, move to the side. Group then slide, grouping and slide. And slide. A nigga really wanna see y'all bounce. 79 bounce, out south bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown, see y'all bounce. 79 bounce, out south bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown.
What the fuck?
Group then slide, grouping and slide. And slide. A nigga really wanna see y'all bounce. 79 bounce, out south bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown, see y'all bounce. 79 bounce, out south bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown.
Tonight it's your birthday, let's blow out all the candles. Yeah, we could get romantic as long as I'm with you, babe. Let's throw a party, just us in my apartment. Get back to where
It's like what's crazy is like the chorus isn't that bad, but it's like the verses are just goofy.
it started. As long as I'm with you, babe. As long as I'm with you.
Like, the chorus is not bad, the beat is good.
They had the beat and then fucking ruin it by repeating all that in it.
This part right here was just goofy. The peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat was goofy, and this shit right here, where he says outside bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
South bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown, see y'all bounce, 79 bounce.
Oh my god, but the beat is actually like good. Like, I like the beat, but nah, he really, look, genuinely, it seems like he had a one take for everything and then he just released it.
May have a point, but Mako was developing a reputation of a bitter, egotistical rapper who complains on the internet. He randomly took shots at his collaborators and label mates, the Migos. Mako felt the need to tell everyone that Skippa da Flippa invented the dab dance that the Migos were using in the song Pipe It Up, to which the Migos replied, "The Flippa man is Migo family. OG Mako, let's see you set a trend." Then Mako said, "Half the rap game has already bit one of my flows or ad-libs. Let me see them album sales." Meanwhile, OG Mako has never had a gold album, let alone the dozens of platinum records the Migos have. Then he went after Lil Uzi when XXL tweeted, "Lil Uzi is rap's newest rock star." He tweeted, "Dudes don't just become rock stars. Somebody gotta show you the way. Stop playing with my name."
Bro looked like he was he was just a super hater. And then it's kind of like, it's one of those scenarios where it's like, he's hating so much on everybody else. I'm like, if you're going to hate on people, you got to at least have the numbers to back yourself up, you know? Like, you can't be out here talking shit and then you ain't got shit. And that's what it's looking like he's doing right now. He's just talking a lot of shit, but he got nothing to prove that he's the shit himself.
With a picture of Uzi at an OG Mako show on stage behind him. Then Academic said, "You paved the way for Uzi?" Then Mako replied with dozens of tweets over the next hour trying to explain why he is so influential and...
Oh my god, if you gotta do something like that, you're just a level 10 yapper. It's like we don't need to hear all that shit. This man legit just kept on
Uzi
going.
was stealing his sauce. He also randomly took shots at Future. I love Future, but I also understand Future has destroyed countless lives by making it cool to be a drug addict. People looking up to loser attitudes because this generation is afraid to strive for anything. It's y'all's fault all this lame ass shit is possible. Again, he may have a point here.
I was just gonna say that. Well, he isn't lying with what he said there, but you said, is this the last stream of the year? I have no clue. I have no clue.
But fans replied to Mako calling him a hypocrite since he raps about the same stuff. But Mako claimed he was dumbing down his music to blow up. You guessed it, was not luck. It wasn't an accident. I made the dumbest song I possibly could on a beat full of bass and knew it would blow. I manipulated over 40 million minds and counting based on the exact same principles that I'm preaching. Who's more qualified to say this? Now, Mako has always made more conscious, focused music with substantial lyrics.
Like Jason, Michael, Freddie, and Idi Amin. After your civil syllable war, niggas should have been prepped before.
But a lot of his music was just mediocre, boring trap.
Get the cat, get the cat. Get the bag, get the bag. Ay, get the cat, get the cat.
Also, if he claims to be such a genius, why wasn't he able to do it again? During his brief...
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you're gonna talk all this shit after you had one hit. So if you had the keys and you knew the formula to get viral, how come you didn't do it again?
Moment of popularity, Mako consistently released music on SoundCloud, but nothing sounded anywhere near as innovative, fun, or interesting as you guessed it. His downfall was easily due to dissing rappers for absolutely no reason, non-stop complaining on Twitter, and trying so hard to take credit for the success of anyone else. Was he an innovator? Absolutely. But he spent too much time talking about how influential he was on Twitter rather than trying to create a legacy to maintain his career. But
Damn.
what happens when the reason a rapper blows up is the same exact reason why they had a downfall?
Yo, TK, GG's, bro. He ain't ever getting out, bro. He's never getting out. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you right now. If you think TK is getting out, he's not getting out, bro. Kind of like Melly, YNW Melly. I saw somebody talk about on YouTube, they're like, why does anybody like not care? Nobody's caring anymore about YNW Melly's court cases. I'm like, bro, because Melly's gone too. You think Melly's getting out? He's not getting out, bro. Like, it's one of those scenarios where it's kind of like GG's, you just got to move on.
On July 26th, 2016, just a few weeks after his 16th
You said free TK, man. That motherfucker, like him and his friends killed somebody, man. Free him. Keep his ass locked up, bro. Like, he committed a crime, bro.
birthday, SoundCloud rapper TK and 5 others conspired to rob a 17-year-old drug dealer, Zachary Belote. The crew broke into the house around 10 p.m., and the robbery went wrong, which led to the drug dealer's friend and roommate, Ethan Walker, being fatally shot. TK admitted during the police interrogation that he was not the shooter, but was there looking for drugs and money. He had been released from custody pending the trial and was placed on house arrest with an ankle monitor. For the next 7 months, TK sat in his room, making music, releasing it on SoundCloud, and built up a following. With no money for a lawyer and quickly approaching the hearing for the murder, TK infamously tweeted that he was tired of house arrest and the police were going to have to hunt him down. While on the run from the police, TK was very active on social media. Fans posted pictures and videos of him in public. But TK and his friends were desperate for money. He robbed a 65-year-old man named Skip Pepe at gunpoint in Arlington's Craven Park. He then attempted to rob a cameraman named Mark Anthony Saldivar in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. Mark began screaming for help as he tried to escape. Then TK hit him with the car before getting out, fatally shooting him and driving off.
He hit him with, I didn't even know about that one. He hit somebody with a car and shot him?
Antonio police connected TK to the murder due to surveillance footage and posted wanted signs around the city. TK saw this as a marketing opportunity, posting pictures and videos with the wanted sign. He then dropped a song called The Race on SoundCloud, which essentially told
I ain't gonna lie, that song is a banger to this day. The Race is crazy.
the story of him being a fugitive, robbing and killing people while on the run from the police. After filming and releasing the music video to The Race, TK was captured by U.S. Marshals in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The shockingly true story led to the 17-year-old exploding in virality. The Race secured hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, reached number 44 on the Billboard Hot 100, and
What up, Devilish? How you doing, baby?
hashtag FreeTK became a movement supported by some of the biggest rappers in the game. He even signed a $700,000 record deal, but none of it mattered because he was behind bars. And in 2019, he was given a 55-year sentence after being found guilty of...
And mind you, he was given 55 years, and that was the first case. There's still a second case that he has to go under trial for. GG's, bro. He ain't getting out.
murder and 3 counts of aggravated robbery. Obviously, TK's downfall could have been prevented if he simply did not commit these heinous acts. But as bad as it sounds, none of us would even know about him if he didn't actually rob and murder people, then make songs about it while mocking the police on the run from the law. Rap fans glamorize this type of behavior because the music is, a lot of the time, violent and derogatory. So if you're gonna rap about it, fans want you to be about it. But the fans won't be the ones sitting in the jail cell. Pooh Shiesty is an example of someone who was heavily rewarded for his violent music. His song Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk was essentially a song about killing your enemies. This track would reach number 37 on the Billboard Hot 100 and secured himself as a promising new talent in hip-hop. But at this peak of his new career, he got arrested. Pooh Shiesty and his crew were at the King of Diamonds strip club in Miami, Florida. Allegedly, Shiesty had money taken from him, which led to major commotion in the club. Security acted accordingly and escorted Pooh Shiesty out of the club, but he forced his way back into the club and accidentally fired a handgun at a working security guard. Pooh Shiesty turned himself in on June 8, 2021, and had his hearing the following day, where he would be denied bond. He would later be sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison on April 20th, 2022. He could have easily just left the club and let others go handle the money situation, but maybe he felt the need to live up to his Back in Blood lyrics. I got my own fire, don't need security in the club. If you haven't noticed, rappers and shootings seem to be a very common trend that leads to their downfall. Tory Lanez is no different. However, many people still question if he is actually guilty of being the shooter. In 2020, Tory Lanez was at the peak of his career. His feature on Jack Harlow's What's Poppin' reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 while objectively being the best verse. His album, The New Toronto 3, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. He broke the record for the most live viewers in an Instagram Live during his quarantine radio show during the
I'm not gonna lie, those quarantine radio shows were crazy, dude.
Pandemic. However, on July 12, 2020, he was arrested on a felony gun charge while out with Megan Thee Stallion after attending a small party at Kylie Jenner's house. The public was also informed that Megan had cut her foot on broken glass. Then 3 days later, she changed her story to say that she was shot in the foot. Then 1 month later, she said this.
Yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying.
Social media immediately took Megan's side. Tory remained silent about the allegations, but responded with lyrics on his album Daystar. How the fuck you get shot in your foot and don't hit no bones or tendons? How the fuck your team is trying to paint me as a whole menace? Delusional, like how that 1942 from Kylie House still got you talking crazy, as well as also rapping about why he hasn't been nearly as vocal as Meg. Think I'm finna talk about an open case for some likes? Tory Lanez was charged with 1 count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 count of carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in October of 2020. Although Tory claimed he was being blackballed by the music industry, his career continued to thrive. He released 4 albums independently, which would all garner hundreds of millions of streams. He received praise from LeBron James as well as dozens of other mainstream acts. Fans believed if it wasn't for this case, he would have been toe-to-toe with the biggest rappers in the game. But once we finally got the information from this trial, we would end up with more questions than answers. On July 12, 2020, Tory Lanez, his bodyguard Megan Thee Stallion, and her friend Kelsey Harris were attending a small gathering at Kylie Jenner's house. Megan testified that she lied to the police about the glass, lied to doctors, and basically lied about the entire situation out of fear. Her news story was pretty simple. She said that they had an argument, she exited the car, Tory leaned out of the passenger side door, said, "Dance bitch," and shot her from 25 feet away in the back of the foot. Then Tory ran up to her apologizing and she got back into the car so they could give her a ride home. The cops arrived when the neighbors reported the gunshots. Tory chose not to testify and defend himself, which he would later regret. Kelsey, Meg's friend, testified that Tory was trying to hook up with Kylie Jenner and Meg tried to convince him to leave the house. Meg was upset that Tory didn't want to leave, so she got into the car with Kelsey and drove almost all the way home before realizing she forgot her slipper and went back to Kylie's. They grabbed Tory the second time after Kylie allegedly told them to leave. In the car is when Tory admitted that he and Megan had been in a romantic relationship. Kelsey was shocked because Megan was the one who hooked up Tory and Kelsey in the first place. Kelsey also admitted that this was not the first time Meg had backdoored her when it came to men. Now we have a love triangle, and this is how the argument started. But Kelsey...
I didn't even know it was this deep. Jesus Christ, there was a love triangle? She
pleaded the fifth when it came to speaking about anything regarding the gun or shooting. The government offered her immunity, so she couldn't be charged with any crime even if she admitted to it. She still refused to speak. There was one witness, Sean Kelly, who saw the altercation from his balcony after being awoken by the arguing. Sean said he witnessed Kelsey get out from the back seat, open the front passenger door, and start physically fighting Megan in the front seat. He also said that the muzzle flash from the gun was closest to Kelsey. Much of his testimony was ignored because he couldn't identify the people by name name since it was dark. He only said big man, small man, and 2 women. Nobody admitted to hearing the words dance bitch besides Megan. There was gunshot residue on Kelsey's
what?
hands and Tori's hand.
Bro, this whole night sounds like it was very alcohol driven as well. Like, I feel like there was so much shit involved. There was guns, stupidity, intoxication with alcohol. Bro, this is just a whole train wreck.
Also, after this night, Kelsey and Megan stopped being friends after being best friends for 7 years.
That's crazy.
When Tori was initially jailed, he called Kelsey and apologized multiple times to her. I know she's probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, I was just so drunk. I don't even know what was going on. I'd never do some shit like that. Regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right. But I'm deeply sorry for that. I never even moved like that at all. People speculated Tori was apologizing for sleeping with both of the women and causing chaos. Others see this as an obvious admission of shooting the gun. Some people think it was Kelsey who was angry and shot Megan. Some people think Megan was the one who accidentally shot her own foot. Some people think that Kelsey pleading the fifth was her attempt to try to...
That's the problem with this case, is like, nobody knows what really happened because it's still so fuzzy. Everybody was intoxicated. It was just nonstop he said, she said. No one will ultimately know what really happened that night besides them. And even they might not even properly know because they were so intoxicated.
Save both of them. But at the end of the day, the jury decided he was guilty. And because of that, Tori was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Damn. 10 years? Gonzo. Big yikes. Big yikes.